Hello, welcome back to the channel. The following story that I'm about to read was written by one of my subscribers, Wolfpack. Thank you, Wolfpack, for allowing me to read your story. I appreciate it greatly. If anyone has suggestions for stories they would like me to read, let me know in the comments down below or in my channel's Discord. Again, thank you, Wolfpack, for allowing me to read your story. I appreciate it greatly. Yesterday was another day where I just went through the motions. I just followed my daily routine. I woke up, fed my cat, and went on my computer for a few hours, greeted my parents and my dog, and did whatever I was asked to do. You know, the usual stuff. It's a tad boring, but I honestly don't mind. I like my routine. Today, however, was different. I woke up and went downstairs to greet my cat, but I didn't find him where he usually sleeps, so I just assumed he scampered to another part of the house. I put his cat food in his dish and went on my computer and played old games I like. After a few hours, I was expecting my parents to wake up, but they didn't come downstairs. I assumed they were always sleeping, so I just resumed my gaming session. I checked the time, and it was almost midday. Finally, I decided to wake them up. I knocked on their bedroom door, but there was no answer. So I opened it. To my surprise, Mom, Dad, and my dog were all gone. However, their stuff was still there. My dog's chew toy, my mom's books, and my dad's computer. The clothes they wore were gone too. I checked my siblings' rooms. They were gone as well. I was somehow the only one still in the house. I tried calling my family but got nothing, not even voicemail, just static. I tried to leave and go outside, but the doors wouldn't open, even after I unlocked them. I was trapped, with nobody to help me. I panicked for a while, wondering why this was happening. After calming down and getting something to eat, I decided to try to find a way out. However, I caught a glimpse of a hooded figure standing outside my house. I banged on the window, trying to get their attention, asking for help. But to my surprise, they ignored me. I scowled and went back to finding a way out. I heard thunder in the distance, so I figured that had to mean I was still on Earth. I had just made myself dinner when I looked outside again. This time, there were now 3 more hooded figures standing outside. Getting creeped out, I ate my dinner quickly and went to my room. I barricaded the door and windows using my bed and dresser so they couldn't get in. I noticed the time on my watch. It was almost midnight. I looked outside, but I couldn't see anything, so I used the flashlight. There, standing in my yard, were now 12 hooded figures. They were all just standing there, staring at me, motionless. I turned pale as I noticed one walking closer towards the house. I got away from the window, shut off my flashlight, and sat down on my bed. I heard footsteps outside my door. I heard a voice saying, "Good morning, honey. Please come out." It was one of those things. I could tell. It was doing an impression of my mom, but her voice sounded so distorted and all around wrong. I told her to go away, that I knew it's not my mom. I heard footsteps, and it left. That night, although I had trouble sleeping, I eventually fell asleep. When I woke up, I hoped that this was all just a terrible nightmare, but to my horror, it was real. The bed and dresser were in the same spot as they were last night. I didn't want to risk running into those things again. I looked outside my bedroom window, and they were gone. I leaned against the door, listening for anything. Nothing. No footsteps or voices. Although I wanted to stay barricaded in my room, not wanting to risk running into those things, eventually I had no choice. I had to leave my room. I removed the bed cautiously and peeked outside. There wasn't anyone there. I exited with caution. I didn't run into anyone, no hooded figures, and sadly, not my family either. I grabbed as much food as I could carry and brought them back to my room. I made several trips, and I soon had a good supply to last me a while, and I tried to conserve as much as possible. I have my family's water jugs filled to the brim with water, so they should last me a long time. Days went by, and I rarely left my room. The hooded things would come back every night, trying to get me to come back out. So far, I discovered a few things. The TV and the plumbing still work, which is good. I've moved everything in the house into my room, that way I don't need to leave. I moved all the blankets in the house into my room as well. I used up part of the food supply, and I don't think I'll be able to get any more. I have no idea what those hooded figures want with me. For the past 2 days, I tried asking one. "Come out, honey. We miss you," one would say from behind the door. "What do you want with me?" I would ask. "Come out, honey. We miss you," it would respond, ignoring my question. "Where am I?" I demanded, as this clearly wasn't my home. "Come out, honey," it would respond every single time. I thought attempting to communicate with these things was the only way to find out where I was. I can't risk leaving my room when they're outside. They might try to get me. I've read stories. I'm not an idiot. These things will try to kill me if they get their hands on me. Strangely, to my horror, I've been seeing more and more of these hooded figures standing outside. Their numbers keep growing every day. First it was 12, then 13, then 14. Yesterday it was 27. But oddly enough, after the arrival of the 27th hooded figure, they stopped appearing. I woke up and everything was gone. The house was nearly empty. My bed, dresser, and bookcases, everything was gone. Thankfully, my food supply and water supply were still there. The blue blanket I was wrapped in during my sleep was still there as well, but all the other blankets were gone. I made a peephole in my door using my old pocket knife, and I've been using that peephole daily. However, when I used it today, there was a hooded figure standing motionless on the other side of the door. I jumped back and had a panic attack. Thankfully, I locked the door, but the hooded figure didn't even try to open the door this time, something they frequently did. After what felt like hours, I took a look through the peephole. The hooded figure was gone. However, there was a note taped to the door of my brother's bedroom. I got my old pocket knife, something I could use as a weapon, and opened the door. There wasn't anyone there, but just in case, I ran, grabbed the note, and bolted back to my room, locking the door again. The note read, "You must leave." What did this mean? I've been trying to leave for days, and I don't know how. Then a thought hit me. I tried everything except letting them in. My attempts to learn have all failed, and I don't have any other options. This time, when night came, I heard the hooded figure again. This time, it spoke in my voice, but now it was perfect. No distortion, nothing like that. It spoke in my voice, and it sounded exactly as I do. "Come out," it said. I had one blueberry muffin left. I ate it, expecting it to be my last meal, and I unlocked the door. The hooded figure stood there, motionless. I expected it to maul me, rip me to pieces, or do something that would kill me. Instead, it reached out its hand and uttered two words that I didn't expect to hear. "Thank you." I took its hand, and then, to my surprise, the hooded figure extended its hood towards me, covering me completely. Now, I was in a cold, dark place. I closed my eyes, and then I woke up.